Hello everyone, I'm Adam Brown and this is Shell Point Today for the weekend of April 17th, 18th, and 19th. On today's show, we will show you a special promotion of the upcoming Shell Point Variety Show. Dan Philgreen and Heather Battey will be hosting Tuesday's event, and you'll want to stay tuned to today's show where you can sing along with them, plus we'll recap all the segments from earlier this week. But first, we want to remind you of Saturday's LifeQuest Personal Trainer presentation by Michelle Smith. Cardiovascular, strength, balance, and flexibility are all important areas to achieving better health. Having the assistance of a personal trainer in these areas can benefit and enhance your efforts. Join Michelle in the Grand Cypress room of the Woodlands at 10 a.m. Saturday for this informative presentation. If you're heading out to Trader Joe's on Saturday, court pickups begin on the island at 12:30 with return time approximately 5 p.m. It's sure to be an enjoyable time at this healthy eating conscious market with a relaxed island shopping feel. Looking ahead to Monday, there will be a dining outing in Bonita Springs at Wild's Cafe. They serve exceptional modern American cuisine created by 3 local chefs. Their elegant dining room surrounds you with works from local artists. The cost of the outing is $8 with dinner on your own. Court pickups begin at 4 p.m. on the island with an 8 p.m. approximate return time. And if you aren't excited yet about next week's variety show, then here's a little song to get you in the mood.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing like California. You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy, bushy blonde hairdo, surfing USA.
Hey everybody, I'm Daisy and this is my dorky brother Morty. It's almost summer and we're heading to the shore for a trip down memory lane. So join us on Tuesday evening as we surf on down to the village church for some summertime memories. Sing along with some summer tunes, laugh out loud at funny stories, and enjoy a parade of summertime acts performed by Shell Point residents and staff. It's the Summertime Memories Variety Show you don't want to miss. See you Tuesday at 7:15.
And now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, menus, and village church connections.
Hello and welcome to the Happening segment weekend edition of Shell Point TV. I'm Caitlin Van Scoy and this is Bev Chanley, and we're going to let you know what's happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to start with Friday's activities at 8 a.m. with men's match play doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. The Stamp Ministry will meet down in the Stamp Room at 8:15, and volunteers are always welcome to join. From 8:30 to 11:30, the Friday Marketplace will be in the Administration Courtyard. Canasta and Samba will be in the common second floor lobby of the Woodlands at 9 o'clock. There will be a trip going out to the Holocaust Museum at 9:30. It's Dearest Pauline, a World War II healer writes home. Pickups begin at 9:30 on the island, 9:40 Woodlands, and 9:50 Eagles Preserve and Estuary, and you do need to sign up for that trip. At 10 a.m. we have men's match play doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. And Inquiring Minds will be gathering in the Manatee room at 10:15. We move to the afternoon for mixed progressive bridge at 12:30. That'll be in the Woodlands game room. And at 1:15 we have advanced table tennis in the Tarpon room. The Quilters will be gathering in the Osprey room at 1:15. And from 1:30 to 3:30, the model train room will be open for complimentary tours and viewing. 1:30, we have a Vespers in the community room of the Arbor. And Bid Euchre will be played in the Sable room of the Woodlands at 2 o'clock. We have water volleyball at 2:15, and that's always a fun time. That'll be at the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. 2:30 is the time for Latin Size down in the Health Club. And at 2:30, another Vespers in the community room of King's Crown. The last Vespers of the day is at 3:30 at the Springs. Pickleball will be played at 4 o'clock at the pickleball courts. And at 6:45, we have game night at the Resident Activities Center. Here's Bev to tell you all about our Saturday activities.
Thank you, Caitlin. Saturday starts off at 8 o'clock, where in the administration circle, the Adopt a Road group will be meeting so they can do their monthly pickup of our trash along Shell Point Boulevard. Also at 8 o'clock, we have the pickleball down at the pickleball court. 8 o'clock, we also have round robin doubles tennis at the Woodlands tennis courts. The men's and women's doubles tennis will be at 9:30 at the courts as well. At 9:45, we have a duplicate bridge game that's in the Manatee room on the island. And at 10 o'clock, the LifeQuest group discussion will be in the Grand Cypress room of the Woodlands. The Model Yacht Sailing Club will be having their boat sailing at the Garden Apartment Pond today at 10:15. This afternoon, in the early afternoon, we're going to head down to Trader Joe's. 12:30 is the time we depart the island for that trip. At 12:40, we pick up the Woodlands folks, and then 12:50 we'll be at Eagles Preserve in the estuary. You do need to sign up for that trip. At 1 o'clock, we have chess that's played in the library lounge of the Resident Activities Center. Also, we have Scrabble being played. That's at 1:15. And table tennis is also at 1:15 down in the Tarpon room and available all weekend long. At 3:15, basic line dancing will be in the health club, and that's the end of Saturday activities. And here's Caitlin for your Sunday lineup.
Thank you, Bev. At 9 a.m., we have Christian Life Studies in the game room of the Woodlands and also at the Village Church. At 10:15, it's time for morning worship at the Village Church. And if you can't make it down to the church, it's also broadcasted live on Shell Point TV, Channel 13. The Sunday Golf Mixer is at 3:30 at the Shell Point Golf Club. And we move to 4:15 for Ballroom line dancing for beginners, and that'll be in the Health Club. We round our weekend off with an evening service at 6:15 at the Village Church. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Menus for your weekend. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter on Friday is seafood pasta with toasted French bread and steamed broccoli. The dinner special is the seafood buffet for $15.95, and the soup of the day is lobster bisque. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a turkey Reuben with coleslaw for $7.25. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill on Friday are veal cutlet for $17.95 or sole almondine for $15.95. On Saturday, the Crystal Room is closed. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Saturday, the special is a pulled pork sandwich with chips for $7.25. The dinner special is eggplant roulade with roasted potatoes and green beans for $8.25. The dinner special in the Palm Grill on Saturday is prime rib for $19.95. On Sunday, the Crystal Room features its Sunday brunch for $17.50. In the Island Cafe for lunch on Sunday, the special is a chicken parmesan sandwich with a side salad for $7.25. The dinner special is Chef's Choice for $8.25. And the Palm Grill is closed on Sundays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey, and with me is Pastor Andy Hawkins. Andy, good to have you with us. Tell us about the weekend.
Thank you. Well, we're looking forward, as always, to a wonderful opportunity to worship the Lord and have a God-centered worship service, which I think is always glorious, good music, all those kinds of things. As you know, we've been in the book of Hebrews. I think you've probably heard that by now for quite some time, but we're in the wonderful chapter. We're in chapter 11, which is a lot of people's favorite chapter in the Bible because it talks about so many wonderful examples of the faithfulness of God's people, defining what faith looks like, how it functions, and then what it looks like in human beings through the Scriptures. And of course, that's where we are. This is a book, of course, that focuses on the person and work of the Lord Jesus Christ. And so when you get to the faith chapter, that's always in the background, recognizing that it's faith in the Savior, faith in the Lord Jesus. And in this particular week, we come to that place where it talks about Noah. and the extraordinary story of Noah, and why it is that so much of what the Bible talks about in terms of genuine faith is displayed in Noah. So we're going to be looking at that in the morning, and I think it'll be an exciting opportunity. We've already begun in chapter 11. Last week we looked at Abel and Enoch as examples of faith, and they have certain dimensions to them, but you'll see Noah has just a different side as well in terms of how his faithfulness expresses itself, his obedience to the Lord, his patience, all the things that he went through. Just an extraordinary story, so we'll be looking at Noah in the morning.
We'll look forward to that. And then in the evening?
In the evening, we've been involved sort of off and on, depending upon other schedules, in a series called Who is God? Pretty important to know the character of God, the nature of God, and so we began this a number of weeks ago, sort of setting the stage, understanding how the Bible speaks about God, and then we've been working through the attributes of God. And we've sort of divided them, as the theologians do, into sort of natural attributes or things that define God in and of himself,
right.
and then the relational sort of attributes, the things that God shares with his moral creatures. And so we've been in the natural attributes of God, things that God is in and of himself. And this week we're going to be looking at the omnipresence of God.
Ah.
Yeah, I know that sounds like a heavy topic.
That's a big word.
It is a big word, but of course, while it seems to be one of those 50-cent theological words, at the same time, what will we do without God being present in every place and every time to be able to minister and do the things that he does, and orchestrating all the dimensions of his sovereignty.
Exactly.
And so it really is, while it seems like a heavy theological thing, it's a very practical thing as well.
Should be very encouraging.
It'll be a very encouraging time. And so we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good day in the Lord, and we trust that people will join us.
We'll look forward to that. Thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
And now let's look back on stories from earlier this week. We reminded you about the LifeQuest personal trainer presentation happening on Saturday. Michelle Smith shared more about it with us earlier this week.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith, your fitness supervisor here at Shell Point, and I'm very excited to tell you about the LifeQuest discussion group that I'll be holding Saturday, April 18th at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress room. I'm representing the physical dimension of LifeQuest. At the discussion group on Saturday, we're going to be talking about personal training and fitness here at Shell Point. I'm going to be talking about various benefits of personal training, maybe why would I need a personal trainer? I'm going to answer those questions. How would I benefit from a personal trainer? And I'm going to also have residents that I work with one-on-one be there to answer any questions you have. I do a lot of personal training with our residents as well as teach classes. But some of our residents want more of a one-on-one specified fitness program to meet their individualized needs. Whether it be balance training, strength training, or some of my residents like to set high goals and walk their first 5K. Whatever it may be, this class or this discussion group might be something you'd be interested in attending. Again, my Why Do You Need a Personal Trainer LifeQuest discussion group will be Saturday, April 18th at 10 a.m. in the Grand Cypress. I hope to see you there.
The School Supply Fund Drive began this week and runs through the 30th. The drive helps to provide the supplies that Shell Point employees' children need when heading back to school in the fall. Melody Desolé sat down with Dorothy Erickson of Nautilus to talk about the drive, along with a special little person.
Hi Shell Point, I'm Melody Desolé here today with a special guest, Dorothy Erickson from Nautilus, and my very own son, Bradley Morrison, and we are here to talk about the School Supply Fund Drive. Dorothy, can you tell me when this is happening?
It starts on April the 16th and it runs through the month until the 30th.
Excellent. So can you give our viewers a little insight? What what is this fund drive for?
Yeah, it's a fund drive to raise money to buy supplies that our employees' children and grandchildren need when they go to school. The schools give out these long lists of things they expect the children to have, and it can be quite daunting for the parents to supply that.
Okay, so what you say these bags, what are we looking, how many bags do we want to fill?
We want to fill 650 bags, which is actually the same number as last year, but this year we would really like to be able to put more things into each bag.
Okay, would you describe what goes into the bags?
Oh my, there's all kinds of notebooks, there's crayons, colored pencils, scissors, erasers, glue sticks, bags to put their things in, pencils. I'm sure there's more, and right now my mind's drawing a blank, Melody.
What ways can our residents give to this fund drive?
Okay, we want money because that way we buy the supplies, we get a discount, and every bag has the same thing in it. Whereas if you ask for donations of supplies, there's no continuity. They can give by check or by cash, and there will be a box on each service desk in the Woodlands and at the island, and all contributions are tax deductible.
Excellent. So how would our residents make out their checks if they choose to do it that way?
Okay, and that is actually the preferred way because then we have the name. If they give cash, they have to put a sign on with their name if they want a receipt. They make the check out to the Shell Point School Supply.
Now, Dorothy, I know we're doing this fund drive fairly early for the school year. When does distribution take place?
We give the supplies out in the middle of July because that's when most of the stores are talking about school supplies.
Now, you had mentioned that the school supply is for children and grandchildren of Shell Point employees. How would a family qualify?
Well, we work with the Human Resources Department because a lot of our employees have a lot of input into their grandchildren. They're either responsible for them or they help support them financially. And it's for children in grades K, kindergarten, through grade 5.
So Dorothy, do you have anything to say to our residents to really encourage them for the school supply fund drive this year?
Well, all I can say is that last year when we passed them out, everyone was extremely appreciative. And I think it's a wonderful way for us as residents to show the employees how much we appreciate all they do for us, in addition to the Christmas fund that we do.
Well, Shell Point, being an employee with my own little son who's not quite school age yet, it's a great example of the employees that we have here at Shell Point. And for you, we are so thankful and so grateful for your generosity. The school supply drive takes place from April 16th through April 30th. You can donate through either service desk, and if you make a checkout, it's to the school supply fund drive. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. We so appreciate you.
As we get older and begin to lose muscle mass, it's important to keep them from becoming fatigued. Exercises to stretch and tone those muscles is important. Keeping yourself flexible and testing your muscular endurance can be achieved in a new Health Connections class entitled Bar Basics, taught by fitness coordinator Melanie Brode. Heather Battey talked with her about the class where you'll burn calories and create long, lean muscles.
Hi, I'm Heather Battey, Resort Services. Today, I'm so excited to be here today with Melanie Brode, and she's our fitness coordinator here, and she's starting a really neat class. It's called Bar Basics. Can you tell us about that class?
Actually, Heather, I learned about Bar Basics from you, and it's basically the principles of ballet, and I don't want the word ballet to scare off any of my men participants because football players do ballet, isn't that right?
Yes, yes they do.
So I looked at it and I thought, you know what, this would be a good way to incorporate it into my Health Connections class. So I did a little bit of research, and I think it's a great way to get lower body strength, core strength, posture, and it's very low impact. So I'm excited, and I'll show you a couple moves today if you'd like to see.
I'd love to see what you learned.
Okay. Well, basically, you can use a bar. We're also going to use body bars, and we're also going to use small handheld weights and and toning balls.
Okay.
Okay. Here's a basic move that you can do, and it's called a sliding side step, and you just step out to the side and bring your leg in. This is a great way to warm up. I've noticed in ballet that they do one side to exhaustion. Instead of alternating sides like on my normal class, they tend to do one side at a time. You can make this a little bit harder with the circle to warm up your hip. Okay, your core's working, your hip's working, and your whole body's contracted the whole time. With this, I'd probably add a knee lift and a reach to get your obliques. Your core's tight. So that would be just a basic starting warm up.
Excellent. With bar basics and the word ballet, what we want to stress is that ballet and football players alike use the same muscles for coordination, the movements that you're going to use. So that's why we want to make sure all the men out there actually come to this class.
It's the only prerequisite is senior fitness test, and you can sign up and take it. It's going to be on Mondays and Wednesdays starting April 27th, 11:30 to 12. So I hope everybody shows up.
Excellent. We'll see you there. Have a great day, everyone.
In celebration of National Volunteer Week, Melody Desolé brought us more about the volunteers here at Shell Point.
Hi Shell Point, we are celebrating National Volunteer Week. It's from April 12th through April 18th. Now, President Richard Nixon established this as an executive order in 1974 as a way to recognize and celebrate volunteers. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. So follow me on our journey of volunteer work. What do you think about volunteering here at Shell Point?
Oh, volunteering is wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm a court rep. So that's a volunteering position, and I work here, and I love working here because there's a lot of activity and people, and it's a good thing to give back. We're all here, we've lived this long, and we live in this wonderful place, and we owe it to our fellow residents, I think, and to ourselves. It does my heart good to volunteer.
What do you think of volunteering?
I enjoy it tremendously, particularly the library, which is where I usually volunteer.
What does volunteering do for you as an individual?
Volunteering, I think, keeps us very much alive, very happy. It just brings out so many good things, just to be with so many good people to share our wonderful days with.
I thoroughly enjoy volunteering in the library. I've always loved libraries and feel comfortable in them, and the people that work here are such help and so kind. It's just a wonderful experience.
I'm here with Barbara Hilton, and we are celebrating National Volunteer Week. And Barbara, you have been a volunteer here at Shell Point for quite some time. What is your favorite position that you have held, and why?
Well, I think my baby, as I call it, the Holiday Craft Bazaar, which is always the first weekend in November. And we started off 10 years ago with 24 people. Last year we had 54, and it has just grown and grown. And I have to say that's really has to be my favorite there.
Floss, we are celebrating you for National Volunteer Week. What do you think about volunteering here at Shell Point?
Well, I think it's a wonderful idea. It keeps people busy and gives them a meaning, life a meaning. It's wonderful.
My husband is a minister, and so I do serve with him as a pianist for a church and different things in the church.
Wonderful. How would you say volunteering at Shell Point is different than other volunteer efforts?
I've enjoyed it immensely. You meet so many wonderful people in and out here and everywhere, all over the country, and I've just enjoyed it so much, and it just makes my day. And then I get to sell things that I make here.
I am here with Barbara Lau from Parkwood, and she has been a very active volunteer in the gift shop for quite some time. Barbara, what would you say your favorite part about volunteering is?
I used to have a shop of my own, and I just loved coming in here and discombobulating everything and So I've been working here. We've been here 10 years, and I've worked ever since we've been here.
I am with Eleonora Harmachek from Solana, and as you can see, she's busy making some beautiful pottery, but she also volunteers here at Shell Point. Now, Eleonora, what do you think about volunteering here at Shell Point?
Well, I mean, it just fills up your time, right? And it keeps you going. And I volunteer in the butterfly garden, also in the gift shop. And I also have a garden plot, you know, which I take care of. And that keeps you busy, which is good, right? And play tennis and exercise. So that is my schedule for you.
And it keeps you busy and you're enjoying life.
Hopefully also fit, right?
Yes, absolutely. I am here with Ted Ashley from Coquina, and as you can see, he has a computer behind him, so he's our technologically savvy volunteer today in the UPS room. And Ted, we are celebrating volunteers for National Volunteer Week, and I have a question for you. How has volunteering at Shell Point changed your life for the positive?
I would say it changed my life because I do things which I think are worthwhile, and UPS is one of them. But my other volunteering is like kayaking, and that one's fun. And so it just makes life worthwhile, like you say.
And I volunteered here for most of the time I have been here, and it's not only the work that we do that helps people, it's we get a chance to associate and talk to each other about different world affairs and so forth. Of course, we all have different opinions, and we respect each other's opinions.
Dave, how would you say that volunteering has changed your life here at Shell Point specifically?
Well, it's given me opportunity to get acquainted with quite a lot of people that I would never meet otherwise. The people coming in here, occasionally I know who they are, I know them well. Other times I've never seen them before. But then also the group we have here, we have a lot of fun together. We talk, we only spend a short time together once a week, but during that period of time, especially when we have free time, we'll talk together. We solve the problems of the world here together, we really do.
Now, Ruth, you have been a volunteer for quite some time here at Shell Point. How has volunteering changed your life here at Shell Point?
Well, when I first came, this is where I made my new friends. And I found out how much fun it was to sit around and talk and do something worthy and get acquainted with people from other parts of the community.
Wonderful. Well, we celebrate you during National Volunteer Week. Now, as you saw on our journey throughout the island of Shell Point, that was just a small sampling of the many volunteers that we have here. In fact, in the year of 2014, our volunteers totaled 131,000 volunteer hours. And as you can see, our volunteers are as varied as their answers. So from being fun to social to worthwhile, there's all sorts of volunteer jobs to do here at Shell Point, and we celebrate you. Thank you for joining me.
Aqua Pilates stretch instructor Jane Fenzer and her class obliged us with a look at how their aquatic stretching class really works.
Hi, I'm Jane, and I'm the Aqua Pilates stretch instructor here at Shell Point. As you can see, the people are ready to go. I have great music, and we just have fun. First of all, I warm them up, and then we use the equipment, some of them lighter weight noodles, and then we go for it with the strength training, and finally the last 20 minutes we stretch them out. Pilates basically is the core of your body. We concentrate on the breathing. You breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. We do various exercises here in the pool. I emphasize the core. As you breathe out, you suck in your core. And having strong core means a strong back also. So it's very important to strengthen the core as well as strengthen the back muscles. So we do both here in the water as well as stretch out the leg muscles and work your upper back. We basically do everything in 45 minutes with great music. They feel so much better after this class, and that's the main reason I'm here, is to help them walk, and we talk a lot and we have a great time. Great music, lots of fun. So please come out and join us 1:30 in the afternoon, and you'll feel better the rest of the day.
Well, we use the resistance of the water as we move about in it to strengthen us, and also do a lot of stretching, which I need, because as you get older, you tend to get all tightened up. So you got to keep stretching. It is very beneficial, and Jane is a very good instructor, and she's helped me a lot.
So please come out, join the fun, 1:30 in the afternoon every Tuesday and Thursday. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
One of the bus routes on Shell Point property is called the Blue Route. This route has now expanded to reach residents of the newest neighborhood, the Estuary. Dan Philgreen recently talked with Transportation Supervisor Diane Morton while they took a ride on the bus along the route.
So Diane, we're out here on the beautiful Shell Point property on the Blue Route, driving around. Tell me about what's going on the route.
Well, we're going to be expanding the Blue Route to include our newest neighborhood, the Estuary. And the biggest change will be when we leave the island, if we have Springs, Estuary, or Eagles Preserve passengers, we are going to take those residents home. Then we will be pulling into the Woodlands neighborhood.
Okay, so that's going to allow you to always make right turns. It's a little safer getting off Shell Point Boulevard.
That's correct. The Springs residents are normally the first group we drop off if we have any passengers. Again, only if we have passengers on board will we go to those neighborhoods. If we don't have any residents in those neighborhoods, when we leave the island, we would come directly into the Woodlands.
So now, Diane, I understand traditionally you've hit every stop 2 times every hour. Is that correct?
That's correct. We hit every neighborhood 2 times an hour, and with the addition of the Estuary, that will not change. We will be in that neighborhood 2 times an hour if we have residents, passengers on the bus at that time.
Okay, so no more waiting than before. You managed to work that out, hit everything twice in an hour.
That's correct. We do that throughout all our transportation services here at Shell Point, whereas we're in those neighborhoods twice an hour.
Where are we, Diane?
We are at the first official Estuary bus stop. At this bus stop, there's a couple chairs on the porch, so if it's raining outside, you can get on the porch out of the weather. We selected this spot because it's easy for the bus to turn around the cul-de-sac. Also, it's convenient for any other Shell Point residents that want to come and use the swimming pool facilities here at the Estuary. If Estuary residents want to ride the Blue Route bus, they will call a cell phone number. The bus driver will tell the Estuary resident what time they will be at the bus stop, so the resident knows what time they need to be ready to catch the bus, and the bus will come and pick them up and take them to their final destination.
Terrific. And if you live elsewhere, this is convenient to the pool here that everybody's welcome to use, and come out and enjoy the Estuary. So, you know, it seems like just being able to get out and ride the bus is a great way to just enjoy the Shell Point property. We have, what, 400 acres here, and your husband, Steve, does a great job of making them look great. So this is a great way to just see Shell Point on the bus.
Exactly. Many of our island residents who come to the Woodlands for academy classes or musical events many times do not ride the bus. And when they do ride the bus, they enjoy going through the golf course, seeing the bird life, seeing the golfers, seeing the construction of the estuary is an activity for many people because it gives them an opportunity to see what's going on at Shell Point. They hear so much about it and read so much about it, but this is an actual hands-on, let's see what it looks like.
And for all of our residents, the great benefit is you never have to worry about finding a place to park on the island when you're there for a concert. No worries about getting there late. You can go right in the front door. No fuss, no muss.
Exactly. Whenever we have an event at the church which hosts a concert or a church service, we always bring on additional bus services. For example, recently we've had several concerts sell out, and I've brought on 4 to 5 buses just so there's not any extreme waiting at the end when everybody is out and the concert's over.
And now tell us the hours again, because if somebody hasn't ridden the bus, that might be a worry. Is it gonna run? Am I gonna get stuck? Are they gonna quit running?
You can always rest assured that if there's an event at the church, additional buses will run, and they run till everybody is home. So there's no set time when we stop running the buses after a concert. We always make a final round through the church driveway to make sure that we've picked up every last passenger.
So you're never going to get stuck on the island or anywhere for that matter. The drivers are always going to be aware that you need a ride. They're going to make sure you get home no matter how late it is. But on a normal day, what are the hours?
The hours of the Blue Route, it starts at 7 a.m. in the morning and ends at 8 p.m. We run that route 7 days a week. Every day of the year, we run the Blue Route.
Excellent. So there you go, folks. An easy way to get around Shell Point. You can leave the driving to Robert and the other drivers and just enjoy the beautiful view of the property as it goes by. Get there, no worry about parking, and you'll have a comfortable, safe ride anytime, all day long, all over Shell Point.
Ruth Duber had something interesting cooking up, so we headed on over to see what recipe she had in store that you can try out in your own kitchen.
Hi, I'm Ruth Duber, and this is What's Cooking at Shell Point. And I have kind of a fun recipe today. Actually, it's one that Dee Darcy and I are going to do in our little cooking demo that we're going to do up at the Arbor. It's breakfast, and I don't know, you ever get up in the morning and you walk into the kitchen and no, you don't really know what you want. Well, here's an idea for you. We're going to do the strawberry breakfast sandwich. And these are the honey multigrain little sandwich thins, but you can get whole wheat. You can get a lot of combinations. And these are really healthy for you. It's only 100 calories, has 1 gram of fiber. And so we're going to make a breakfast sandwich. And of course, strawberries are in right now. And so that's something else we're going to use. It's that, and strawberries, and a Philadelphia cream cheese. And this has, it's honey and pecans. So if you're allergic to nuts, you don't want to try this. You could use just plain Philadelphia cream cheese. So we have one right here, and I'm going to open it up, and we're going to put the cream cheese, and we're going to do it on each slice. Now if you want to, you can toast these first. Everyone I've given one of these to said they're really good, and I enjoy them. So, in fact, I even have sprinkled a few blueberries on it. You have to watch out when you eat it, though, that they don't pop out. Yeah, just about got this covered. You can use any amount that you want. If you want a whole lot, you just put more on. And so now for the strawberries. And I'm going to core this. And I'm never sure how many it takes for the sandwich. So we'll just start building it. And you can also make the strawberries as thick as you want. Now I put the pointed end toward the center, but actually if you don't want to take the time, you can just put them any way you want, just so they're covered. Yeah, and that's going to be right there. Looks like I need another strawberry or two. Let's put that in there. Let's do one more. Do that. That's pretty full right there. Okay. Then you just take the other half and put it on top. And I like to press it down just a little bit. And you know what? That's it. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of it here. And I'll cut a piece off for me for right now. Well, I'm not doing well there. There it is. I think that looks so good. There's the other side. You have to lick your fingers too. Well, that's it. I hope you'll try it. I'll put it up on the website. That's all for today. Bye.
After a big meal, it's time to get outside and get some exercise. Heather Battey and Melanie Brode are ready with today's Fit Tip.
Hi, I'm Melanie Brode with today's Fit Tip, and I have Heather Battey with me today, and she's going to demonstrate some exercises. I hear a lot about, I feel that my legs are getting weak and I can't get up and out of the chair, so what can I do? You can get up and get out of the chair. So I'm going to have Heather sit at the end of the chair with her feet planted, and she's going to throw her arms forward, and she's going to try to stand all the way up and go all the way down. All the way up. Keep going, Heather. Let's try to go a little bit faster. Oh. You got it. If this is hard for you, and it may be because you're losing strength in your legs, then you should rock back, lift your feet, and use momentum to lift yourself up and out of the chair. So this is an easy way to be a beginner because you're using your momentum to force you up and out of the seat. Good. And then she just demonstrated as we started, it was a little bit more difficult because she's keeping her feet planted and she's pushing through her heels, her glutes, her stomach, quadriceps. This is going to give you a whole lower body strengthening workout, and it's a little bit of cardio. Like you said earlier, you can exercise during the commercials, during the TV when you're watching, and you'll get a workout. Good job, Heather. That's today's Fit Tip. We'll see you later.
What exactly is an attitude of yes? Kathy Miskell of Sand Dollar has a pretty good idea and was happy to share a story that illustrates it quite well.
Do you know this story? Back in the early 1800s, then President Thomas Jefferson and a group of his aides were traveling by horseback to a destination that required that they cross a river. The river that day was running high and fast. As they approached the crossing point, a man standing there who had been watching them walked straight up to Jefferson, looked up at him and said, "Sir, I have to get across this river, and I have no horse. May I ride on the back of yours?" Jefferson agreed, and the man climbed on, and together, at no small peril to both their lives, they crossed the river. When he had been safely deposited on the other side, one of Jefferson's aides came up to him and said, "Why, of all people, did you choose the President of the United States to ask for a ride?" The man was surprised. "I didn't know he was the President," he said. "And all I can tell you is that as I saw your group approach, I saw on some of your faces an expression that said, 'No.'" He had a yes face. When I think of this story, I think of Shell Point's fabulous employees, because that attitude of yes is written on their hearts, and it shows in their face, in their whole person, and in everything they do. This yes attitude, I believe, is part of what sets Shell Point apart from and above every other community of its kind. A donation to this year's Employee Christmas Fund is a way that we residents can say to these employees, we see you, we appreciate you, we're saying yes back to you. It's easy to give. In addition to the regular mailing with return envelope and the donation boxes that are distributed around the campus, this year we're introducing an exciting new innovation. The Employee Christmas Fund now has its own web page at shellpoint.net. It's full of useful and interesting information, and best of all, it has an online donation form. It just takes a couple of minutes to sign in, choose whether you want to give a monthly gift or a one-time donation. And that's it. Off it goes. Easy, simple, quick. I encourage you to give. I'm Kathy Miskell, and I am privileged to be chairman of this year's Employee Christmas Fund Drive.
Pharmacist Yao Adu Sarkodie will hold a presentation next Tuesday about the positive and negative effects and important medical principles behind vaccines. Heather Battey spoke with the pharmacist about this upcoming presentation.
Hi, I'm Heather Battey from Resort Services, and today we're here with our very own pharmacist, Yao. Yao, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good. So today we're going to be talking about something I think everybody is interested in, and that is vaccines.
That's correct.
And the actual title of your program is Vaccines to Do or Not to Do. So I think that's certainly going to draw a lot of people in.
I hope so.
It will.
Yeah.
So I think one of the main questions a lot of people have is, how do vaccines actually even work?
First of all, vaccines are made up of microbes, viruses, bacteria, the same organisms that cause diseases. However, we put them in vaccines in a killed form or weakened. Therefore, they're not supposed to cause the disease that they would in their wild stages. But they get in the body and help us produce what we call antibodies. Mm-hmm. The antibodies are what fight off the disease that they would have caused naturally.
Okay, so when you actually put it in, it actually makes those antibodies fight that little part of the virus that you've actually put in.
That's right.
And then that creates the actual vaccine.
That's right. And the presence of the antibodies is what also we call immunity. Mm-hmm. We have immunity against that disease.
Sure.
Yes.
So are the vaccines actually for, do they work against viruses and bacteria?
Yes.
Okay.
There are two main types. Like I said before, we're using bacteria or viruses to make those, or parts of them called subunit, vaccines, etc. So it could be a viral vaccine or a bacterial vaccine, depending on what disease we're trying to prevent.
Wow, it's very interesting, all of that. Often we find out that vaccines aren't 100% effective. Is there why is that?
The reason being, I guess, we cannot really produce a perfect vaccine. Mm-hmm. The influenza virus is a typical example. It's been with us forever, and we cannot create the perfect vaccine simply because the virus keeps mutating and it changes rapidly. So every year, manufacturers try to make the best, the closest, but it's not perfect. So
Right.
it keeps coming back.
Yeah, so often we hear I had the flu shot, but yet here I still got the flu, and that's because you got a different strain of flu or different.
That's right. The vaccines are meant to cover the strains that are most prevalent, but not probably all of it. Therefore, you may get the disease in a minimal form or a short period of time, as opposed to maybe a longer time and having it hit you harder than it would if you hadn't received the vaccine.
So you get a minor flu instead of a full-blown major flu that really knocks you down for weeks, sometimes at a time.
That's correct.
Now, one thing I always have this question, and then we'll get back to the vaccines. How do you get the flu? Do you get the flu from being around others with the flu, coughing, sneezing, from touching things?
Pretty much in our daily lives, so many other ways, including what you just said. If a person sneezes around you, it's airborne. There you go. If they touch something without washing their hands or whatever, and you touch it afterwards, if they've been in an area and you get there, it could be a chair or a table, you can pick it up that easily. So, and that's, you know, the nuisance of the flu virus. It's really not gonna kill us anymore. However, it can cause that nuisance. But in certain extreme cases, like in sick people or little children, it can be deadly even.
Now, I know some vaccines require a booster. Do they? What makes a vaccine require a booster?
That will be also discussed during the presentation.
Okay. We don't want to give too much away, right?
Right, but it's okay. We have the live or the killed vaccines. If we use a live virus, or usually they don't use live bacteria because those are harder to make. If it's a live virus, they do multiply after being injected into the body. And those give you longer immunity, maybe 4 years, etc. So you may not need a booster. However, if it's inactivated or killed, the boosters may be required maybe a little sooner, depending on how severe. So manufacturers have what we call booster requirements or schedules as to how often or how many you should have in a lifetime.
Wow, all so interesting. So one question is to do or not to do. But you're not going to answer that now.
No.
Because we're going to wait, and you're going to have to go on April 21st to Yao's presentation at 10:15 at the Social Center. Vaccines to do or not to do. Have a great day.
Well, that about does it for now. This has been Shell Point Today for the weekend of April 17th, 18th, and 19th. Be sure to join us again next week for more information about the exciting place where you call home. Until then, I'm Adam Brown, wishing you a wonderful rest of your weekend.